Okay, final realm of what one looks for in a mate across lots and lots of different species, which is not only someone who appears healthy and symmetrical and these exciting secondary characteristics that are markers of lots of fertility and also whatever everybody else thinks is attractive, you suddenly do as well. The last thing that tends to be a theme through lots and lots of species and in every human culture is being attracted to someone who's kind of just like you are. Being attracted to someone who is similar. And the term for this is homogamy. Homogamy, polygamy, monogamy. In this case, homogamy, mating with someone who is homogeneous, who is similar in traits of yours. And across cultures, including in the United States, people are extremely homogamous in who they wind up marrying. Here are these statistics. When you look at couples in this country, there is better than 90% chance likelihood of them sharing the same religion, of being within 3 years of age of each other, of sharing the same race, the ethnicity, sharing the socioeconomic status of their childhood, did they both growing up poor, wealthy, whatever, and sharing political views. More than 90% concordance in this country on those traits, markers of homogamous preference for someone who is just like you. Stepping down a bit, not in this range, but more than 40% homogamy for a couple having IQs that are within, 5 points of each other, having similar levels of education. Those are very homogamous traits. Then a whole bunch of weirdo minor ones, which nonetheless are still statistically significant, a 20 to 40% likelihood of people of couples being the same height, not the same height, but say, for example, in the top 10 percentile of height for their sex, scaled to what's within gender, weight, hair color, and then you get into this bizarre world of lung capacity, of width of nostrils, of width of eyes. People have studied these, and these are traits that show significant homogamy in this fairly low range, but nonetheless significant at a higher than expected rate. What are these weird things being about? These are probably surrogate markers for preferring people of similar race, similar ethnicity. That's probably where those numbers are coming from. So what's this about? This is suddenly barreling us back into the world from many lectures ago of you don't want to mate with someone who shares half their genes with you, the dangers of inbreeding, but you also don't necessarily want to mate with someone who is so unrelated that there is no drive of kin selection for cooperation. We have now heard from bird species to humans, you get the optimal fertility somewhere around third to fourth cousins. You get the optimal fertility under circumstances that select for a fair degree of homogamy across different cultures. And historically, this is no surprise at all that there is a great deal of homogamy. Various studies have shown that your average traditional hunter-gatherer winds up being married to somebody who grew up less than 40 kilometers away from them. Studies show that people in traditional agricultural villages in the developing world wind up being married to someone on the average less than 10 kilometers away from them. You are getting an awful lot of people winding up being married with individuals who look a lot like them. And back to that issue of partial relatedness, third to fourth cousins. Yes?
Couldn't it just be that I know a lot more people who are the same age as me, same race, same socioeconomic status, and so on?
Okay, well, though, look around the room. This is a very heterogeneous corner of the planet we've come up with here. Yes, it's very different when you look in more homogeneous societies there, but when you begin to look at the increasingly diverse Western European ones, you see a fair amount of homogamy going on. Very interesting data. Iceland, yet another of our good old Scandinavian. Is Iceland technically Scandinavian, or are they just like good guys who should be Scandinavians? They're so dull and healthy and sensible. Okay, so in those sensible non-Scandinavian Icelandics who have like I don't know what, 300,000 people in the whole country, and all of them are no more than sixth cousins apart, and all of them have just fanatically clean records going back centuries as to who was married to who. Studies have now been done looking over the course of 200 years in Iceland of how closely related different couples were, and what you see is optimal fertility, optimal number of children who survived into adulthood, you get from third to fourth cousin marriages. Recent studies showing that.